Hello and welcome to Kernans Equestrian Centre. We're here today for the second leg of the Gain All-Tech Autumn Grand Prix League. Currently Gabriel Slattery is atop of the leaderboard, but it's all still to play for with 7 legs of the league still left. Behind us the course is being prepared and soon we'll catch up with some of the riders and hear their viewpoint. In Camershall we have Mary, John and Archery, all helpers here at Kernans Equestrian Centre. Would you like to tell us your involvement here?
I'm the starter here. I help build the course and I help the judges up in the box.
What about you?
I put the numbers for the course and help put up the fences.
Archie, we've seen you lifting some heavy poles earlier.
Yeah, I put up some fences and I help the judges and I help up in the cafeteria.
Would you like to tell us how you injured your arm?
I fell off my pony.
So do you ride often?
Yeah, all the time.
What about you?
Yes, all the time. We love our ponies.
And will you tell us something about Kernans Equestrian Centre?
Yeah, we're very lucky to live here.
It's a good place to come to ride.
We're very lucky to hear because a lot of people don't have these sort of facilities to ride in. So.
Are you looking forward to today's Grand Prix?
Yeah, can't wait.
Is anyone going to predict a winner?
Yeah, I think it's Hannah Joyce or John Floody.
Alexander Butler or John Floody.
I'm now here with Peter Smith. Peter, you have some different horses in today's class.
Yeah, I've got a new horse in it today, Smokey Malone. He's an 8-year-old and this is his first Grand Prix.
Tom is building up to height today. What do you think are your chances?
It looks big here behind us and it's a small arena, so it takes a bit of jumping. So Eddie Maloney's here, Gabriel Slattery, Harry Marshall. There's a lot of good people in it.
The earlier class, the 130, we've seen he put forward a very tricky track. Do you think he'll do the same again?
Yeah, well, Tom knows what he's doing, but it'll definitely take jumping.
And do you think maybe the class will go to one of the bigger riders in today's start list?
It's anybody's class, but we'll all give it a go and try our best.
Victoria Rose has been very consistent for you throughout the season. You have her here again today?
Yeah, she's here today and hopefully she'll be in with a shot.
I'm now here with one of Ireland's very best, Dermot Lennon. What's your opinion of today's track, even though you haven't walked it yet?
It looks up to height and it's tight in here, but it looks a fair track for the horses that are here today.
What horse have you in today's class?
It's a new one for me, Cuba Libre. It's a 8-year-old. He's first time jumping this level, so we'll see.
What's your opinion of the Autumn Grand Prix League?
It's great that we have a league to run right through now. It gives the horses a chance to keep competing through to November, so it's all good.
We have a relatively small start list here today. How many do you think will make it through to the jump off?
I'd say Tom will want 4 or 5, maybe 6. There's a few experienced combinations that have been going well, so I'd say they can cope with it okay.
I'm now here with James Kiernan. James, you've run a 2-day show here. How has it went for you so far?
Yeah, it was not too bad yesterday. We had a very bad day, but we had over 130 entries, and so considering the day, I was quite happy. Friday was a very bad day, and unfortunately the weather just hit us badly this weekend. But here, people are right, it was good jumping, and Tom Holden's been building wonderful courses, so it's been good.
We've seen some very competitive classes here this morning.
Yes, the 130 was a competitive class. Tom Maloney won it, and he's competitive and fast, and as he always is. It was a good class. Clear rounds were hard come by, a technical course, so it was good jumping.
We have a relatively small start list here today, but some very competitive names.
That's right. Peter Smith said to me, just looking down the start list, he thought, it was very strong field. At this time of the year, it's hard to get 50 sort of Grand Prix horses jumping. But no, I'm quite happy with the field. The field's good quality. It's better with quality than no hopers.
You're also starting today yourself.
Yeah, as well, a sort of degree the devil was in me there. When I got in the last class, I'm riding the same horse, and sort of the competitive edge was on me, and I went to try and win the class, which was not a good preparation for a Grand Prix. He's a young Grand Prix, he's only jumped in one other 140 class before, so I'll see how I get on. Maybe it could be a bit tough for him, but sure we're in, and sure we'll have a go.
What's your opinion of Tom's course? Who's he behind us?
Well, Tom always builds. I have great respect for Tom Holden. I think all the riders in this country have as well. He's builds wonderful courses wherever he goes, and he knows this ring. He builds here a lot, so I'm sure now he'll get it right. We probably have about 7 prizes, and he'll end up maybe with 7 or 8 clear rounds.
Would you like to predict a winner for today's class?
particular winner for this class today. I didn't think. Now you just put me on the spot a bit. I'd nearly say that Peter Smith might be too far away.
I'm now here with Harry Marshall. What horse have you in today's class?
I have a young horse, Kingdom.
What do you think of your chances?
Well, I just had an argument with my son. The horse hasn't been in the show for maybe a month or 6 weeks, and I thought I'd give him a quiet round to 1:30, but I lost my head and went fast. So I think my chances are slim at the moment.
What do you think of the track Tom has set forward today?
I'm just halfway around and it looks lovely. Tom's a really good course builder, so I trust him.
We see some very competitive names on the start list for late in the season.
Yeah, it's incredible, with the financial crisis and everything, still people turn up to go jumping, but it's a great place, great atmosphere here.
Do you plan on following many of the Autumn Grand Prix legs?
I don't really have the horsepower at the moment. This horse is short of work, as I said, but hopefully I'll go to a few with him.
Well,
I'll make him a better horse for next year, hopefully.
All the very best.
Thank
James
you.
Fleeks. James, you have 2 horses in today's class. What do you think of your chances?
Yes, not too bad. One of my horses actually pulled the shoe, so he's not going to jump today, so I'll just jump the other horse. But he's relatively new to this level, but he's a careful enough horse, so a good enough chance.
Is there any particular lines you think will cause problems today?
Combination's quite big and it's going away from the pocket. But other than that, everything else seems okay.
Tom has built up the height today.
Yeah, he's fairly built up the height now. Maybe just on his biggest cabin, but he's built up the height. But I suppose with the size of the arena, you can't really go that big.
With a small start list, do you think Manny will make it through to the second round?
I could say there'll be 6 or 7 clears on now.
Would you like to say who'll be our winner?
Say Gabriel Slattery.
I'm now here with Alexander Butler. Alexander, you're always one to watch against the clock. Do you think today's track will be good enough for you to get the jump off?
Hard to know. Of 3 horses in it to be relatively very inexperienced at this height. One of them is only an 8-year-old. It'll have never jumped anything nearly as big as this. But the last one that I have is a Douglas 8-year-old. She could have a good chance, hopefully, if she gets into the second round.
The track here today is very tall.
It's big, yeah, it's big, and it's a small arena, but I quite like it for horses because you find the benefits after you go away from here. The next weekend, the horses seem to be waiting for you a little bit more, after jumping in here. So that's why I like coming here.
What's your opinion of the Autumn Grand Prix League?
I think it's a really good idea, especially there, like I said, of an 8-year-old there that's never jumped this height. But it's great to find out whether they're going to be able for it next year. You know what I mean? It's never too tough, but it's a great class to get younger horses up to that level for next year.
It's quite late in the season now and you've had a very successful season. Do you think you'll continue to campaign for much longer?
I'll continue, I suppose, till the end of November. I'm going to go away now with a few horses next week for 2 shows in France, and then I'll come home, do about 2 shows, Cavan, and then I'll go away again for another 2 shows, and that'll be it then.
I'm now here with Eddie Maloney. Eddie, we've seen you take the last class in superb style. Do you plan on making it a double?
Yeah, hopefully. I have a couple in this. Should have a good chance. It's big enough, so hopefully I can go to plan. I haven't jumped in a couple of weeks, so we'll see how it goes.
Is there any particular lines you think will cause problems here today?
Yeah, the tree there from 8 to 9 is tight enough, so that could cause a little bit of trouble. I think in general it's a nice track. It'll jump well, I think.
It's a very competitive start list, although it's small.
Yeah, there's a lot of good horses in the start list. It's not going to be an easy one, and people might think it will, but it's going to be as tough as any of them.
We've seen you at the Premier Series and the National Grand Prix. Do you plan on following the Autumn Grand Prix Series?
Well, I'm doing a trip abroad, but I'll do any of the ones I can for the moment. While I'm around, I'll keep jumping them, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm now here with today's course builder, Tom Holden. Tom, will you talk us through today's track?
Yeah, 1 here behind us, the cream and wine coloured fence. 2 up towards the pocket of green and white vertical, 1 metre 40 vertical. 3, 4 stride distance across the diagonal. And then we go left-handed to the gain fence over the gain, or the sponsors here today, gain fence over the far side. Optional strides, 7 or 8 strides up to the blue wavy plank. Then the combination 7 ABC, Oxer, 1 stride vertical, 1 stride vertical. And then sort of a roll back to the pink, the pink and white vertical here. 3 strides up to the rainbow fence, normal 3 strides. Then 10 AB, 2 stride double vertical Oxer. And then a little bit of a run round to the last, the Liverpool with the cloudy wings and white pose, the Liverpool Oxer.
Is there any particular lines you think riders will fall foul to?
The combination normally, a few of them are going to catch that, but I think there'll be faults all around the place, to be honest.
We have some very competitive riders on the start list here today.
There's some very good combinations. There's a good few combinations then stepping up to this level, so it's not wildly difficult. But I still think don't be that many clear rounds, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 clear rounds, something like that.
What do you think of the Autumn Grand Prix League as a whole?
Oh, it's super. Like you can see people who were jumping 130s and 135s during the year jumping here today. And it extends the season so that people have a chance to ride all the horses. The professionals have a chance to bring horses in and out, and the amateurs is always going to find a place to jump.